This is an interesting stream. There was so much missing when we started this. Someone, could be anyone, that planned the stream as some mobile thing and we couldn't change it. So sorry, we had to switch and make a new stream. And yeah, but at least I see 4 people have found us at least. Thomas, they say they don't hear you. So this is, I guess, just continuing a bit. So we'll try to fix everything while we are. You could see the meters there, right? But you guys watching, you can hear me, right? Which is probably the only interesting thing in this stream. So I'm okay. Yep. Oh, do hear you, robbery. Thomas, how you doing?
Live. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Let me see if the audience can. This is just amazing. Every fucking time we can.
Yeah, they can hear you now, Thomas.
Yes.
So,
okay, now we're going live with the once again some technical issues.
Some small technical issues, and we have a mystery also. If anyone out there watching have seen Matthias, the other guy in this podcast, let us know. You can send an email or type in the chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just missing Matthias. He's out in his what's the nice word for it?
Fucktruck.
Camper van, right?
Yeah.
The fucktruck.
Fucktruck,
Yeah.
yes.
But now we're on the air and up and running. I need to go get my beer. Actually, I have to introduce my beer because at Skog last month, I was approached by a guy that I have a guy coming here and he's bringing some special stuff and you can get one, but only if you drink it on ADV TV.
Yeah.
And I'll do that. I'll just get it.
So he said that you can only have it if you drink it live on one of our live shows, yes?
And when I bought the pizza oven, I got this laser temperature reader, so I can. Oh, it's about 10 degrees.
Oh.
10 degrees.
Isn't that a little bit cold?
So the beer now is Kåtbock.
Oi.
So Bock is a kind of beer, of course. It's a German strong beer. And Kåtbock is, there's so many word stuff here. So Kåta is the sort of tipi tent, the tipi tent that the Swedish Same people live in. So, and a bock is also a sort of a goat. So
Yeah.
Kåtbock, TP goat, but it also means horny bastard in Swedish and probably Norwegian as well.
Yeah, it's probably the same, yeah. And I actually I have a new drink myself today. I got a friend of mine was over in Canada a lot when he was a little bit younger, and they all of them was drinking Fireball. So I just remember how it tastes. So I found one on the liquor store here in Norway. So I will try this one and just see if I can remember if it's. Oh,
this is dark, but Bock is a strong beer. So this is 7.5%. So let's hope it carries it well. So should we do the first?
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Yes, cheers.
Oh.
Horny bastard. Let's see how this turns out.
I'm kind of glad you are alone. Or is Seymour in the background?
Seymour in the background. Yeah.
Is he there with you?
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
Skål.
Skål.
I think this is not something you buy in the store, because it's a white can and the etiquette is a bit the label.
Yeah, can you put it up to the camera a little bit?
Sort of printed. Let's see if I'm not sure. I have
it's hard to see.
Fixed focus on this one, so yeah. But yeah, and 7.5%. It carries it well.
Yeah, and this fireball is it's like a cinnamon thing with it almost tastes like chili or something. It's quite strong in the mouth, like if you were eating chili. But I really enjoy the good taste. It tastes really good. It should probably be a little bit colder, but yeah.
Yeah, it's very spicy to drink that one, sort of.
Yeah.
So,
indeed.
But I guess a success around the campfire, I guess.
Oh yes.
I'm so longing for a real campfire again. The last time, or even the first time this year, I was at Skog, the motorcycle event, with some of you people in the chat there, of course. MC Pappan and the gang.
MC Pappa.
And that's, of course, there's fire and it's tent, but it's not that. Now I'm longing for that solitude, alone or just a few guys by a lake in the forest, camping out, having a fireball.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I saw that you were I think I want to call him a friend, Dennis Travolta, the one you met at Rally Grenseland, the one with the podcast Nord podcast Nord.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He was turning into a Swedish guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jag är svensk.
That was really great. I've been chatting along with him for a while.
Some people you learn to know over time, but others you're friends right away. And,
it's kind of like every time you just start chatting, it's just like it's
so
really great.
I enjoyed meeting you, Dennis.
Yeah, I see him in the chat. He's here.
Yeah.
So but should we put a little bit of context into why Matthias is missing? Do we even know why Matthias is missing?
I don't know why Matthias is missing.
He had one task. Yeah, he had one task before this podcast, and that was to make a thumbnail for for it. And we kind of put all our trust into him, and he managed to not only make a thumbnail that was actually quite good, but he managed to make the broadcast for a mobile device, and so we couldn't use that. And now he's disappeared. We can't find him anywhere. He doesn't answer his phone.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But I believe everyone should get one chance, and he used up his.
Yeah. So, are we applying for a new member in Nordic ADV TV?
No, there's a vacant spot. You see that light blue box there? Yeah. That's a vacant spot. So
that can be you.
So we're hiring.
Yeah.
And actually, I think we should keep it there and not make a two-screen thing now. We should have it there as a reminder for him when he later watches this.
We should actually put. I don't have the time to do it now, but we should put the face of him, just like the one with the bicycle helmet. I got that picture. We should just put that up there.
Yeah.
We need to.
We didn't have time in the beginning before we did that.
5 more minutes and we'll make fun of him.
Yeah, so...
And yeah, I just see on the chat now that Dennis is asking, please invite. And I really wanted to bring that up, but we could probably take it on the air. I really want to make an episode with Dennis and take him on this show and just have a chat and how he's doing with his podcast and everything. So just wait for a call for us, Dennis. We will reach out to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we're on the subject, I visited and met the guys for the first time at the Rally Grenseland.
Rally Grenseland.
Because I love going off-road and I love Roadbooks. So yeah, rallies are really something I enjoy. I want to do it more. And I got the opportunity to join the Norwegian guys there with Trygve, I guess it is, but no one does everything alone. But anyhow, at the border, there's a video out, so probably, or hopefully some of you saw that, but it was compared to Skog, because I was at Skog the week before, and that is all about the awesome camp and the food and the atmosphere in the camp, and the riding is not the most fun compared to the Roadbook stuff. So because you go on quite big groups and just follow along.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's great fun. But the Roadbook rally Grenseland thing there is sort of the other way around. It's a camping, and yeah, you have some beer and eat, but the big thing is the riding for sure, and you really get to work while riding there, both the Roadbook and then some challenging riding. So great stuff. So if people in this group now, the watching this, if you haven't tried Roadbooks, you should really do that. And it's so accessible now with you only need a mobile phone or something like that.
A smartphone.
Have you tried that, Thomas? Have you?
No, a friend of mine from Trøndelag, Kjetil, he was making a lot of Roadbooks, and I think he did some of the part for Rally Grenseland as well. And I never come to point where I actually tried it. I tried a couple of different setups on my bike just to kind of read the Roadbook, but the phone I had was an old version of the iPhone, so I couldn't get that to operate properly. But now I'm working on a new setup on my bike, so I can just attach magnetic thing on my handlebar, so I can attach my phone or my drone controller. So I'm gonna try it, but no, I haven't tried it yet. Sad to say.
Yeah, it's great because you even if you navigate perfectly, you have no idea where you are.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to make mistakes. You have about 200 instructions or notes to follow, and you're on your toes always. And the feeling every time you see that you are in the correct location, that's a really nice feeling, and it lasts for about 10 seconds, and then you start worrying again.
Yeah.
So,
but I think it's kind of nice that we have these events, because you have Roadbooks that are for some people, and then you have, of course, Skog. That is more like kind of you go into camp, you have a big meetup and gathering there, and everybody kind of riding in a train through the forest. And for me personally, to just be the second to last in a group of 30-40 people on dry gravel and just dusty and shit all over the place, I don't find that to be particularly fun, but I do understand that others do it. So for me, I think that the Roadbook is more the things I'm going to, and it's much easier to film and put up camera and kind of document the whole process. And we have to be honest, for me, part of the fun is to kind of get out there with my camera.
Yeah, Yeah, it's a completely different thing. It's really hard to make a good video when you're road booking because you don't have the focus on filming is not there.
No.
So it's helmet cam and some 360 there. So have you been out riding?
Yeah, I've actually been to your parts. I didn't know if you heard me, but when I was riding
to my parts?
Yeah, your gentle parts.
Okay.
No, I passed your office and I tried to beep the horn, but I'm not sure if you heard me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't available that day.
Yeah, that is okay. My plan was just I had 1 week off work, so I went to Sweden just to get Stagra a proper try. I had 1 week off work, and I was okay. How can I best make use of this time? And here in Norway, we still had winter. It's been a crazy late summer or late spring, so there was still snow covering the roads in the mountains. So I just went around the coast, took the ferry over to Strömstad, and from that point I just decided from now on I'm just gonna let Stagra decide for me where to go. And I have to say I'm pretty amazed how well that route planner works. It just blew my mind how many great roads it put me through towards is it Vättern, the biggest lake?
Yeah.
And then of course I went down past your place down and met Matthias and Roll from Moscow.
They just say roll.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to
Dennis.
And that was
the Moscow European manager, I think he.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his. He's amazing guy. It was so cool to, and of course Thalassa and Bob on bike, the guy who was or the girl and the guy who was with them on the car and make the stand with Moscow. That was really fun.
Oh yeah, she was really pleasant to look at.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that to roll.
Well,
but she was a Skog
guy too, so.
Yeah, she was a Skog as well, wasn't them?
Yeah. So yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So, what happened to your bike?
Yeah, you took
and on the Rally Grenseland. You went.
Sorry?
You went down. I saw on the video. You crashed your bike.
That was special effects. I never go down.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's for.
It's green screen then. Yeah.
Yeah. I broke my front fender, but that is just flimsy plastics anyway.
Yeah.
But again, on your trip there, you made some dots and you rode the Stagra out there, and I'm so happy for them because it's really loud. It's getting so popular and everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
I remember at Skog, I heard Stagra all over the place, and then so I really think they found a sweet spot there with this product.
Yeah, I was chatting with a guy who contacted me about the Stagra. He was asking me questions about when they open up for the Netherlands and other parts of Europe, and there are so many questions. People are so eager to test this out in other parts of the world, and I think that there are some really big companies that has their eyes on these guys, because I think this will be route planning for, if they can manage to make this for every continent, I think this will change how everyone plans their trips in the future.
Yeah, and what it does really is just it an algorithm that prefers gravel roads, and it's very different in different countries, but in Sweden it's really helpful because we have so much gravel, but there are many dead ends and there are a lot of gates and so on. And this really, I can make 2 dots and it calculates a route between them that avoids gates and keeps a connected route. So before that, I had to zoom in and look ahead, and I can't go there. But so I had to do a lot of work. But of course, what I think people need to understand, that will take some time, and especially if they're not used to how the Swedish roads work and things. Stagra relays. They have a lot of data from different sources, like OpenStreetMap and the Swedish government and things like that. But still, there are so many private gates and private signs and things like that are not in any database or anything anywhere. So you will still end up with forbidden sign or a roadblock made by logs or stones and stuff like that. But if you just know that and just make a detour, that's...
Yeah, and if people just accept it as the tool it is and try to help and be understanding of this is a route planner in the beginning, in the early stage of development, and if we could share and help with our knowledge for each and every one of the adventure riders in this community, I think that it's limitless how much information and how much dugnad, free work they can get towards this to perfection for us as a end user. I think it's it's quite unique, and just how it worked in Sweden just blew my mind. I've tried it in Norway as well, but it's kind of there's some hiccups with the ferries. It's kind of it takes one ferry without ease, and we go down the southern part of Norway, and then all of a sudden it at another ferry point it just takes the whole long way around, even if you try to put it on highway or the fastest road down there. So it's still under development, of course, and we just need to help them out to see what we can make of it.
Yeah, I thought maybe they could open Tanzania area for me, so so I can make routes there. But then again, I think in Tanzania you don't need Stagra. I think that anywhere you go is pretty much off-road or what we consider off-road tracks.
But it was just so nice to just get to a new country that I kind of have the blue and green routes of TST, and I have a lot of routes from you and Matthias, and I of course have the Trans-Euro Trail. But just getting to a new country, and you want to just ride for a couple of hours before you want to set camp, and to have somebody just automate that process for you, so you just can have a really great adventure for a couple of hours before you find camp. It makes everything so much easier. It makes it easier for people that don't have a clue about road planning just to go out there and have a great adventure.
Yeah.
And of course we will spread the traffic out.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about those guys, and I wish them all the best, and hope we can help them. And I hope that we have helped spread the word through our
and I think that is
channels
important.
That we have. Sharing
is caring. If we can help other people with success, it will kind of like that. What comes around goes around, in my opinion.
Yeah. And talking about that. Now, you and me, we are YouTubers, and we have at least a few people doing productions in there. And so this is a bit of a YouTube theme, but sponsored.
Oh yeah.
That because I thought about it with when we spoke about Stagra just now. And yes, I love sponsoring when I can sponsor someone through my channel with publicity, because I work with a few people, and you can think that, oh, he's sponsored, but first of all, I work with Joao at Thork Racing, who creates DMD2. And that's not because he pays me or anything. He didn't even know about my videos or anything. So I found this little passionate one-man company who made these controllers. And if I like it and someone, because there are so many small groups or solo persons following their passion, and if they make something that I find really nice and fun to use, and I make a video about that, that is more me trying to sponsor them and get publicity and get started.
Yeah,
and same thing with Rally Motor. I have a lot with them, and that's because that's also one guy. Now I think he has one person to help also, but he started in his garage selling stuff and making rally and adventure bikes and things like that. And then I want to make people know about him, because so it's a big difference being sort of sponsored by Revit, I think, or Climb, or the big brands that can kit you with
but that doesn't comes as free as well. For me, for instance, I'm an ambassador for hammock equipment and the hammock systems that are made in Norway. And a few people know that I actually was on a Kickstarter or a pre-production waiting list for half a year. I bought the hammock, my first hammock I bought, and I was waiting half a year to get one, and I started using it. And after a couple of years, Hammock was introduced to me, and we started talking, and they wanted to work with me. So they kind of, after a while, they started to sponsor me, but it's not, I don't use their product because I sponsored or paid by them. I'm using their products because I really enjoy using them. And the same goes for everything I do. And a lot of the stuff I get, oh, you're sponsored, you paid for whatever you do. And for me, it's kind of like when I find something that I really love or really like, I want everybody else to see it. And I want to kind of say thank you to the people that make that stuff, but because I know how much thought, how much work, how much hours is put into making stuff like that. And like, of course, you can be paid by a brand, just, okay, I kit you up with X amount of money for this, and it kind of shines through. But for me, if Climb should turn their side to me and ask if I wanted to ride with the Badland suits, I can say, without a doubt, I've been riding with the Badland suits now for 4 or 5 years, and I absolutely love it. And I would gladly be sponsored by Climb, but I'm not. And I still use my own money to buy that stuff because I truly believe it's one of the best adventure suits out there. But we get a lot of how to say it? We get a lot of...
Is that the cinnamon in your throat now?
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of like... Oh! 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna one more.
Yeah, but there are. but I was outside bike. They had that's the closest bike dealer and yeah, in where I live in Trollhättan. They had the adventure days, or day actually, it was one day, and me and Matthias was there outside with some camping gear and just looking handsome as usual,
yeah.
and speaking to all the people there that approach us and so on, and all the gear is because there were a lot of riders there that I spoke to that are just starting out or they are moving from asphalt touring to this new adventure thing that we're doing. And the jungle of all gear, the decisions they have to make on I'm not like that. I go for something and yeah, that'll do and try that out. But there are so many with decision panic
Yeah.
But what luggage should I have? Not only hard or soft. That's too. But is this or that, and what kind of from everything to boots to clothes to layers or not, or there are so many decisions to make.
Yeah.
So,
and that is a good point. I had an email conversation with a guy from UK this weekend actually, and he was going on his first time camping, and he was asking me and writing to me the whole list of gear and stuff he was packing. And you should see the first picture of the bike. It was just completely loaded. And I said, go with it. Just keep it like that. Go on an adventure, and you will see when you come back that you need to change. And that was exactly what happened. You need to try it out. You need to test it. You need to find out for yourself what function or not, and then you can adjust to it. And like you say, you meet new guys that want to do the adventure scene or do the adventure stuff. They really have 1 million questions, because adventure is kind of like in the wind today, and everybody wants to try a quick earn a quick buck out of it. So everybody's making soft luggage, everybody's making layer systems, everybody's making gloves or boots or whatever, and everybody tells you they are the safest, they are the best, they are the whatever. And I think that there are a lot of great brands, and there are so many great options to choose from. For us, that is great because we have competition in the scene. But the other thing is that for me, I personally really enjoy and love Moskamoto, but I can understand that Enduristan or Giant Loop or other brands makes really great bags. But for me and my use and how I pack my bike, I prefer Moskamoto. So that doesn't mean that for you, this is the best. So I think, there are a lot of things to be said around this, but I think you just need to try it out. Just look at tires, for fuck's sake. Look at the tires, adventure tires. How people are... It's kind of the cheapest thing you can buy to the bike, but still it's one of the most discussed topic online.
Yeah. And I like what Wikström ADV just said. I'm starting out this year, and I start with budget and reused stuff, and that's the way to go. I haven't been doing this for a long time. I think it's my 5th year now.
Yeah.
And when I got started, I knew, because I wasn't a camper dude before that, so I had to get a tent, I had to get a sleeping bag and a mattress and some cooking gear, and I needed some luggage. And I went for my tent is what does your most expensive tent cost? Mine cost 130 euros.
Oh, mine is 600-700 euros.
Yeah. So, but my 130 euro tent is still like new. There's not a problem with it at all, and I love it. And I have the same sleeping bag, the same stuff that I bought the first time. So it's not that big because also the brain works like that. You love what you get. And then you make up. Yeah, they have some.
Oh, just look at the bikes. Look at the bikes. You paid 30,000 euros for a bike. Of course, that is the best bike on earth. Nobody should come and tell you otherwise. And yeah, you love what you spent a lot of money on. It's just
and that's easy to say for us two who has the T7, but I'm thinking about.
I have had I had the big Rhino. I had a racing bike that I was really scared of getting dirty. I had the whole leather suit, the racing stuff going on, but with the knee pads that was never touching the asphalt, and like MotoGP. And I've been scaling down ever since, because I know that like the BMW GSA, the R1200, is probably one of the best touring adventure bikes in the world. But it's double the amount of money that my T7 is costing. And it's kind of like, what the hell? Is it twice as good as the T7? Well, I'm not so sure.
But I'm still laughing because Stefan from Nomad, my riding buddy from Nomad, when he got adventure bike before me, a year or two before me, and he got the Africa Twin, and then he got the BMW GSA, the 1200, and then he got the KTM.
Yeah, he had the 890, yeah?
No, the 790 he got.
Okay.
Yes, but then he bought the Africa Twin.
Yeah, Dutch Minion
again
has it as well.
Yeah, so he got the Africa Twin again, sold the KTM, but that was too big. So then he got the KTM 890 that we did the Turkey trip with. Yeah. And I asked him, the weather looks nice now the coming weekend. Should we go and ride? And he said, yeah, I hope so, if my bike has arrived. Because now he sold the 890 and got an Africa Twin instead.
No, it's going back to Africa Twin.
Yeah, but he had the adventure sports and everything before, and now he's got the smallest one with a it looks more agile.
But wasn't that the bike with all the issues when the elevation was, or the spinning and the anti-traction slipping thing? Wasn't that completely rubbish the last time he ride it?
Yeah, but Tony doesn't seem to have the same problem as much. But yeah, it happens. Actually, it happens to Tony also, because there's an anti-wheelie, and apparently you cannot turn it off permanently.
Okay.
So you have to go in and adjust that. And if you come to a steep climb, just a small thing, up with the bike and there it cuts the engine.
Yeah. But it's like I have a friend in the UK, or friend he's actually living in Germany. I just call him Uncle Steve, and he calls himself Green String on YouTube, and he has a friend he rides with who owns an Africa Twin, and he used half an hour just to pair the Senna intercom to the bike, and it's kind of like, it's insane. Every time he starts up the bike, he has to kind of kick it on the left, do it on the right, and then up and down, and everything is just messing up. And if he fucks up, he just needs to turn off the ignition and restart the whole thing. And I just said, what the hell? How could a bike that is so technical, up to date, be such a pain to work with?
Yeah, I remember that also. You have to turn the ignition on and then wait until the Windows 95 logo showed up after a minute.
Yeah. and I just have to make fun of her, but the Dutch Minion and her bike, a girl from the Netherlands that is sending me a couple of messages, especially in winter time when it's nice weather down there. She sends me a picture of how nice it is to be out with her bike. She has an Africa Twin, and I bet my ass she got the same problem with her bike that Uncle Steve has with his bike. But we'll see in the chat later if that's true or not.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, there's not one bike out there without anything to mock.
Yeah, the T70 World Raid, nothing. Completely no issue at all. Except I had to mount a throttle lock now because there is missing cruise control, and that bugs the shit out of me.
That's actually, I never thought about cruise control before, but on the Turkey trip, my hand was aching. You had to hold the grip from
change your hands.
Yeah. So I might get a throttle lock or something like that. I'm a bit sad that I'm not going on a mega trip on the T7 again.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, this year the next long trip will be on rented bikes, but that can be a learning experience also, because now we're going on small bikes, and I'm actually, my wife has a big horse, and then she has a little Shetland as company.
The pony.
So it doesn't have to be alone. And I'm thinking the same way. I will keep my T7, and then I want a little Shetland bike as company.
Are you? Can I sense a little bit of revealing some future reveals here?
Yeah, I think it was Rally Grenseland that sort of flipped the thing over.
Those
there,
damn Norwegians.
Because yeah, I do love the T7 also in the mud and things like that, but only if you have friends coming after you. So I want some, and I'm looking at the classic 500, the KTM 500 EXE Enduro, and making an adventure/rally build of it.
Yeah, I've been riding a lot. For me, riding on a bike, we need to do kind of long hauls to get to the fun parts. And for me to kind of buy a rally bike or something like that, I really need to buy a car as well, because riding a rally bike all across Norway to get to the funny parts, it's just a pain in the ass. So for me, the kind of the cost of buying a rally bike is not that much, but I need to invest in a car as well if I want that kind of bike, because I need to transport it back and forth to the West Coast.
Yeah, I guess, but then I'm quite amazed that people are actually riding around the world on those bikes.
Yeah, but it's kind of like
around the world pole and.
Yeah, you can argue about, it's possible. Yeah, of course it is. People are riding iron butt as well, and people are actually riding across the world on a Vespa scooter, but it doesn't mean that it's comfortable or necessary to do so. So I think that some people are crazy enough to do that stuff. I kind of respect that, but for me, I'm getting old and I like my comfort and I really hate freezing, so
yeah.
On that bombshell.
Yeah, let's see what the Santa brings, but it's on the wish list at least. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And but I see that Matthias write in the thumbnail that we did some answering questions in this episode as well, and I just looked through the chat and I see there's quite some activities. But I'm not sure if there are any questions yet.
No, just commenting on your haircut and things like that. So
Joe Cocker. Dom, he's the guy who I talked about in the email that was out camping, and he is actually in the chat thanking me for the things I helped him out with. And my pleasure. And
I will get another beer now, actually. I will take my...
Yeah, I'm kind of... I just taking a look at the chat on my left side here, and I see that, yes, I'm not looking for a van for my World Raid, but I'm looking for a van if I want to make a purchase into the enduro scene, or more like a rally bike, or kind of that regard. And then I want to kind of like a big camper, so I can convert it into a camper van and have the bike in the rear and just ride around and having fun. He's gonna pour himself a new beer. I'm gonna make myself a new drink. If you have any questions to us you want to have answered, whatever it is, if it's on the topic or if it's anything else, it comes to camera, if it comes to whatever we do, shoot them in the live chat and we'll answer as many as we can. Oh, look, the Don is here.
Actually, I'm quite blessed with a wife who loves horses, and she's every day she's at the local riding club, and she has her own there, and she wants a horse transport, sort of those horse bus.
That
not
sounds
the
expensive.
mega size.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think that you can have that's a multi-purpose vehicle for me.
Yeah.
It's okay that it's a horse on the outside, a sticker or something like that. I don't care. But
you can make it a unicorn.
Yeah, because I ride the unicorn bike. So it will be perfect for transporting bikes. Actually, this is not a wheat beer. I agree. It looks like a wheat beer, but it's Sundbyberg IPA.
Ash.
And it's made by...
Ash.
I actually was in Sundbyberg this Saturday. I told you how drunk I was.
Yeah,
and
tell us more.
Yeah, and yeah, I was in a conference room and there was this big bucket of ice with a lot of Sundbyberg IPA there. And we left the room and there was a lot of beers left in that ice bucket there. So then we asked, did we already pay for this? Yeah, we paid for everything. Yeah, so...
Oh, yeah.
stuffed a few beers in my bag there since we paid for it. So...
Yeah, of course.
And here it is. So it's an IPA from Omnipollo. They are a great microbrewery. And I didn't know they made Sundbyberg, but...
Yeah, just...
So it's an unfiltered IPA and... sort of a summer thing. It's almost like
it looks like pineapple
grapefruit.
It looks like pineapple
stuff.
Juice.
Yeah, it almost tastes like pineapple.
Ooh. But I just have to say, when we talked about sponsorship a little bit earlier, and no, I'm not sponsored, but the guys from Latvia, Arturo. This is their coffee. They invited us all to their scout event this fall in September in Latvia, and I'm not sponsored in any way. I'm just so thrilled that other people in not the normal countries that are doing events like this and trying to build something for the community and trying to kind of make something that everyone in the community can gain from. And the way they've done it, the things they're talking about, are just really impressed by the guys and how well they are doing. So I can't wait to get over there and see what they actually want to give us. I want to give back to the community.
Yeah, I was invited also along with you guys to that festival that they have, and I regret that I had to turn it down because we just arrived back from the long trip and work and everything is waiting for me, so it would and money wise also I guess we spent all the kids college trust or whatever on the next trip, so
but that's the way it is sometimes. Like for me, I wanted to attend Skog a couple of times but I couldn't make it, and I think that it just for me personally, because I have the position that I have and making YouTube channel and people are watching my videos, I really want to go there and kind of showcase and lift them up and show to the whole of Europe what they actually are doing, so it maybe gain traction or other people get motivated or inspired to do stuff as well. And I actually talked with Dutch Minion and her bike. I think they are arranging, or she knows somebody that arranged for I'm not sure what it is. It's kind of like a rally down in Spain or around in Europe where you collect waypoints or something like that. And I think it's really cool, and stuff like this should be much more kind of brought up. Like you on your channel, you asked about a rally, what rallies are going on in Europe, because I think the information doesn't reach everyone. I think we owe to the community to kind of present those kind of events much more. What are your take on that?
Yeah, because we have GPX rides and you have roadbook rides.
Yeah,
but there are so many other things that can be done. So the Outdoor team, for instance, they have this adventure scavenger hunt with sort of challenges around along
Yeah, I think
the
that is so
road.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually found an awesome app for that. So I did do a roadbook rally here locally 2 years ago, actually. But now I'm so in. Yeah, I really like to do this. It's sort of an app. I don't remember the name, but Adventure Bound or something like that. And you can build your sort of scavenger hunt with, for instance, okay, we're at the start. Everybody has loaded the sort of the game or challenge thing. Let's say the Nomad Challenger scavenger hunt. And the first thing, and I can control this and build the whole thing. And the first thing they get is an arrow pointing in a direction and the distance.
Yeah.
And then you need just to find your way to that point, for instance, and yeah, try to find ways, and you see it that the distance is closing in and so on. And when you get there, you can decide to have questions that you need to answer, or a photo that they must take, or and then follow a short path of a GPX or something like that, and then start. So you can really build up with a lot of different challenges, and they don't know what's going to happen at the next place, because when you are at the coordinates of the next place, then you get the next sort of challenge, and that would be really fun to do.
Yeah, I think that is really cool, and I'm actually been thinking about doing something like similar like that here in Norway. I'm not sure. Have you ever heard about geocaching? It's kind of a huge thing in the whole of Europe, with the boxes that are with the some secrets that you need to solve. Yeah,
it's worldwide.
Yeah, it's just insane, and I know there's a lot of motorcyclists that run around doing that stuff. I actually got the geocache. I had the app on my phone when I just started out this adventure thing, and I have the one on the North Cape, West Cape, and I have a couple of places. But that kind of inspired me, and I still have a little kind of like a fuel of. I have a little thought about how I want to do it, but I think I want to, like you said, just leave a little hint to go somewhere if you ever come to Norway or Sweden or Europe, whatever. And for me, I'm going to place a personal gift at the place, and I have to take a picture, and I have to go to the next thing, or just have a trophy that they can take it with them and place it at a new spot and leave the coordinates to another one. So it's going to see how far it can travel before it's reached Bergen or here in Norway again. So yeah, there's so many games you can play and do that, and kind of include the community, and I think that is really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I have the app. I have everything ready. So just need the audience to test it on.
Yeah,
would be great fun.
Yeah, and that is kind of cool with this whole YouTube stuff, because we come in contact with so many people at one time, so we can easily push out things that we ourselves are quite interested in, and try to kind of test it out. And so there is not that many questions. I could probably bring up if you have the. If you go into the live chat and see if we have any questions we could answer.
I was a bit intrigued. Hello, Rider of the North. And from Ystad. So everything is, because Ystad is the most southern part of Sweden, sort of.
Yeah.
But I guess you're a Rider of the North compared to all the other people in the world. So we are up north. But when I hear Ystad, I always think of the most southern part. So that's fun.
Yeah. Do you have the? Do you want to bring up the questions in the on the screen, or should we just read them out loud? And
it's mostly comments.
Joe Crocker, Dom. I'm not. I forgot his name actually. Let me see. Dom. Yeah, it goes.
I'm not sure if you updated the URL there, so I don't think you can bring up.
It doesn't matter. We just take it. He asked me if we go into Norway with his Canon 70D Mark II, what lens to bring, and that is a hard question because I would say I when I'm go out filming, I just bring one lens, and that is 24 to 105 on full frame, just to that kind of covers everything. And I'm really poor on. I'm really strange to changing lenses. I have a wide angle lens and a fixed lens, and I have a couple of zoom lenses. But I would say that take something that you can use for most cases.
Yeah, and I'm quite new to this big camera thing, so everything I know I learned from you, Thomas. So I have the same lens as you, and not the same camera because I couldn't afford it. But
you have the same camera, you have the same lens, you have the same helmet, you have the same. What else did you have?
Yeah, sounds a bit awkward when you say it.
Yeah,
I'm a copycat because you had the helmet, the climb helmet before me also.
Yeah, but of course you had the bike before me, so it's kind of like we have bad influence on each other, I think. But yeah. I don't put too much thought into that. I think that we motivate each other to get better in what we do, and that is the key for me as well, at least. Yeah. But
yeah, absolutely.
Pat Cash or Cut. I can't. I'm terrible at these nicknames. But
just say
Robert.
Pat Cash.
Why not?
Why not get the KTM 690 Enduro instead of the 500? And yeah. That could also be a good idea. It's a bit heavier. I don't want to get too close to the T7 in size and weight, but as you say, it's almost 50 kilos lighter than the T7. But the 500 is, I think, 130 something kilos. I want it to be different, and of course the 690 will be different than the T7, so and still undecided. So
and I think Dennis
will be a decision.
Yeah, I think Dennis is riding the 701. That's the same as 690.
Is it though? Yeah. It's I guess it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, because I own the 690. I think it was a 2013 model, and like you say, it's quite close to the 790 or the T7 or other bikes. It's a little bit lighter, but it, like you say, I think I would go down to a 300 or 450 or 500 to kind of get to a completely different game in this segment, because if you really want to go for a rally bike, you want to go as light as possible and have as much fun as you can off-road.
Yeah. So it will be something small for sure and rally worthy, because I guess I will join a bigger rally at some point. I'd like to do Hellas or go training in Bosnia at the Bosnia rally or things like that. That would be so much fun.
But
that is something I'd like to do.
You're not getting any younger, you know that.
Yeah, and a voice in my head keeps telling me that, but the only thing so far has been that voice telling me not to do it, because I feel like I can, and then I can, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I think with age, at least that's the way I hope it will be, and that is that your priorities change, and then you're not that interested in hard enduro and things like that, and you sort of, it's not, because the torture would be that you still want it but you can't.
Yeah,
because
that is a good point. Yeah, and I got a question here from Dutch Minion about if we are planning, you guys got anything planned to travel more south this year outside Scandinavia? You guys are of course going to Tanzania in Africa, but for me the biggest problem to travel too far is my family situation and my work situation. Because I work as a firefighter, I have a shift plan that is kind of set for the overseen future. And because I have a kid, he's 9 years old now, there's a lot of commitments towards that. So I'm really trying to kind of be a family guy, be an adventure guy, be a traveler and whatever. So it's really, really hard, and I really want to travel much more. But at this time, I'm not sure I'm going to leave Europe before a couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm in a point in my life where I have access to all this. I have a large family, or quite large, with my wife and dog and 3 kids and 5 hens or chickens and 2 horses. But none are really my responsibility anymore, because my wife is in the stables. The kids, they reach me over SMS saying when they want more money, and because the youngest one is 17, and then 20 and 22. Ooh. So
young adults.
So the only thing I have to plan ahead for is to fill the fridge and stuff like that, so that they have easy access to food, because I make all the food at home. So I'm the one who rings the bell. Dinner is ready. Ding, 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 ding.
No, you're not. Oh, no. You're not standing like this. You're not standing like you. We've seen you.
Yeah, but anyhow, so I have the possibility, and also with my work, because I have no boss. I can go away like that. So we're going on the long trip to Africa there, but I really have a few trips I want to make. One is to go in Sweden again, because we did that in 2020 and a long trip for 2 weeks all through Sweden, and that was amazing, because you don't really do that often. You get on your bike and now let's go and let's go down to Turkey or Tanzania. But the Sweden trip we did is among the top trips that we did, that we really, really liked. So I want to do that again.
Yeah.
And I have not finished exploring Romania, so I want to go back there. And now Dragos built us a little house, so
yeah,
I have a place to stay. Yeah.
And I've always said I want to go up to Lofoten and North Cape again, and for that to happen, I really need to be kind of lucky with the weather, but I also need to have enough time, so I know that I can plan to make a lot of video from Saltstraumen, Lofoten, Reine, Andøya, and and I have a lot of family from the northern part of Norway, so I wanted to make a kind of like a story-driven video about going up there to meet some of my old family on my father's side, and he had to escape during the Second World War down to Bergen. So there's kind of a big mixture of everything going on up north. So I really want to capture that into a great story as well. So when I'm finally going up to the north, I'm going to do that 100% and have enough time to do it. And I think inside Norway, we are like you in Sweden. You know about most places. You know where to stop. You know where to set up your camera. You know what the local history. You know so much information. So it's much easier to make great content about your own country compared to if you go through Romania or if you go through Africa. It's kind of like you really need to do a lot of research in forehand. So I have a lot of trips planned. I really want to go down under. I want to go to Australia and New Zealand. I really want to go to India and Thailand on a motorcycle. I really want to do the Vietnam thing.
Hallelujah.
And when I'm 50 years old, I want to buy myself a 50 years present that going from Alaska down to America, Southern America, and down to the southern tip. But you know, time, money, and everything kind of plays into the equation, and
you'll get there. You'll get old also.
I want to get there in this lifetime, and I just want to shout out to Arne Jacobsen. I see he commented in the chat.
I saw that also.
Age is just a number, and I just want to say he's such an incredible person. I really owe you so much, and it's so nice to see you here again, and I can't wait to meet you again, my friend. My old Viking mate from Denmark.
I gave Arne a hug a month ago.
Oh, you did? Was it hairy?
It was itching in a nice way.
We got a great question here, actually. First of all, I got the questions about if I want to take my kid on future adventures. Probably, but he need to grow up a little bit more, because now he can't take... he doesn't listen to me. So, a couple of years later, maybe. And Wikström ADV is asking, do you recommend buying food during the trip, day by day, or a lot of food before departure to take with you? For me, I want to...
Let's answer how you do it, Thomas, and I can answer how I do it.
Yeah, I kind of... some days I plan out maximum 2 days ahead. I kind of try to buy local food. I try to eat... how to say it? I try to avoid ultra-processed food. I try to eat meat and vegetables, and try to eat clean. And so for me, I try to, if I buy something at the local grocery shop, I probably have dinner the evening, and I try to eat some of it for breakfast the day after, or lunch the day after. So I try to buy my food before I go to camp each night, or every second day. That is how I do it.
Yeah. I like to have sort of... normally, I because you go into some sort, and we're talking about riding in Scandinavia and Europe, and it was the same, on all places I have ridden, and that is, if you go camping, of course, that's the theme. So you have to fill up gas somewhere every day, and then I buy. So I don't have a lot of cans and stuff like that. I buy for the day. So you need breakfast and some lunch and dinner. So breakfast usually lasts several days. You buy some bread or whatever. That's what I do, and some räkost.
The toothpaste, bacon flavor stuff.
Whatever, and coffee. Yeah. But then during the day you're riding, so I'm getting something along the road, and in the evening when I've if we eat in camp, I go to the local store wherever we're at sort of every day. But I like to keep sort of dry frozen food, just one pack or something like that, in case you didn't have the opportunity, so you can at least have some dinner and with some hot water in and stir, and eat it. So
yeah, I do this.
but I would say
yeah, I do the same with
I
the
buy food
frozen
every day.
food. I always keep one pack in my luggage, just in safekeeping. You never know if there's a holiday or anything, or just like a, how to say it. Here in Norway we say helligdag. I'm not sure what they say that in other countries, but when there's something special in Easter or Christmas or everything, you have one day off because everything is closed down. So I always try to keep one freeze-dry food in my luggage. So if your bike breakdowns or anything, you can you always have something to eat.
Peter Yannick actually gave me an idea that I never thought of. But what's more fresh to bring than a live chicken in the saddlebag? Since I do have the chickens at home.
Yeah.
And I guess my wife won't notice 1 out of 5. Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
But that would be something.
Anders is...
And it would make
Anders is really happy to hear.
A great cooking video also.
Yeah, and Anders is saying that it's really nice to hear that we use that toothpaste flavored bacon thing. Thing. Yeah. But one guy I worked with when I was a trainee as a carpenter many years ago. He had a lot of chickens, or he thought he had chickens, but it was actually roosters. So every morning at 6 o'clock, there was just mayhem in the neighborhood. So he read up online that the easiest way to kill the rooster was to chop their head off. But he knew that if he chopped his head off, there would be blood everywhere, and he read that they can just wander along for quite some time after the head is off. So he found out that he can also break their neck. So you jank and you pull, or you gonna pull and you twist to break the neck. Yeah, and so he was taking one of the roosters between his legs, and it was starting, and he just janked and a twist, and he felt like he was sitting there like he was starting the fucking lawnmower, and the kids were screaming, and the first,
poor
and it was just mayhem. So that is a brilliant story, and I just can't imagine he just sitting there and trying to twist that neck and expecting that bird to die instantly, but he didn't.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Damn, we should sit down together around a fireplace and have a fireball and just have a laugh. I kind of miss it.
Yeah,
it's so long since we've
been
together.
It's been long due now, actually. It was last year just shortly, and I couldn't have any beer because I had to ride back. So
yeah,
we need to do that for sure. I'm okay, just take the eggs, Peter says.
Yeah. How many eggs does a chicken lay every night? Or
quite a lot, almost one, at least one per chicken every day. So I mean, in a family of 5, we get about 5 eggs. Oh yeah, we have 5, and 1 is a rooster. So someone is laying 2 eggs. So it's they do that quite a lot.
Yeah,
and they just roam my garden. There's no fences or anything. They're just everywhere. And sometimes if you leave the door open, they're in the kitchen when you go there. So
you're living in a kind of like a multicultural home in a way. This is quite popular these days. Yeah.
Yeah. If you count chickens as a culture.
Yeah, whatever you have in the kitchen at one time, it doesn't matter as long as they're making that sound, you know. It's getting 1 hour and 15 minutes now, or something around that. I think should we? Is there anything
we can manage on our own without Matthias, and I hope he doesn't get scared now. But
Should I think everybody should send him a message and tell him how disappointed they are.
Yeah.
That is a good one. Either on Facebook or on Messenger or email, whatever, or even on YouTube. Just go in and say, I'm so disappointed that you didn't show up. We had so much going on today and you wasn't there.
Yeah. but he would enjoy if it was a complete disaster. But I think it went quite well, just you and me, and he should think again.
I think we should reconsider making an opening or hire out his place. But on that also, I'm gonna send a message to Dennis and make sure that he is up for a future episode in near future.
Yeah.
And
he's very multilingual, so I'm not sure if he speaks English, but he sure speaks Swedish.
Yeah, but we could probably put on some subtitles or something just for him. I think that would be really well sorted. Who is Matthias? Asked Peter. We don't know.
Yeah.
We have
no idea. That's cool. Yeah, but maybe why not quit on top and
I just want to thank everyone for getting here today, and it's been too long since our last episode. We promise to make a new episode as whenever we can. We won't make any promises.
For sure.
Yeah.
And if I have the opportunity, we can have some Africa episode live also.
Oh yeah,
that would be fun.
We need to have that. We need to talk with. We should probably get a couple of you guys from Nomad to just talk about the whole thing.
Yeah, I could connect you and put a guy from the Hadassah tribe to you, so you can practice your.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That's the one. Okay, we need to quit.
We're getting drunk and we're getting there. So thank you all for tonight. We'll see you in the next episode.
We do.
Bye.
Thanks. Cheers.